Good morning, everyone. Oh, it was the weekend. Hey, Donnie. Moran, Ian, Italian trader. How you guys doing? Is it still hot in Europe? It cooled down quite considerably here in the UK. Is it 40? Wow, crazy. Yeah, it's much cooler here now. Back to the usual 20s. Nothing to complain about though. Alrighty. Well, let's see what's shaking here. No move to the downside, so that's very interesting. Welcome to the folks joining us on YouTube. Good to see everyone. Hope you all had a good weekend. Let's see. I had to reboot the old computer before the stream, so let me just reopen my trading software. There we go. Still very hot. Where are you in Spain, Supra? I think I'm going to be in Alicante. Definitely in August. Maybe even July. Just for a couple of days. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, Valencia. I love Valencia. Who am I kidding? I love all of Spain. Okay, we're going to have to get to work soon, all right? Okay. Work. Getting distracted in the summer. All right, so we got an inside night. We're inside Friday's range. Surprisingly, we have a P profile. Hey, Raj. Shorts are trapped under 74.21 quarter. I was thinking we'd come and test the 73.91 again, but we didn't get anywhere close to it. Our low is 98. So just back and forth. No real change until we take out Friday's high. We do have sellers up there, right? The overnight high, previous day high. This was a nice little. I read the balance zones on the half hour, and what I found. Sorry, over the last couple of days, last week, we did have a balance, and we did have sellers at 74.55. This is a half hour candle chart. So if you don't have market profile, that's cool. You can still draw a balance zone. You can see the discount, so you can still see those look below and fails. And also the look above and fill that we took here a little while ago. We looked above 74.55 and came back in. So you'd be shorting, 50, trying to cover 46, 44. So right now we're still under 55 on the larger time frame. Let's see if we can actually get down to the middle of the zone, which is 44. Okay. We'll see if that works. And you can micromanage the trade on the 1 minute chart. See, it's really cool. You can see, okay, if I'm going to short 55, look how the offers came underneath. When you use the charts together, you don't have to have like 20 charts on your screen, but you have an area, a target, right? So say you wanted to do the look above and fail of 55. So say you short 53, right? Put your stop at 54, 55, and then start putting your bids in. When we came down to this 46 level last time we started to bid, right? We're like bid, 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 bid right here, right? See if those bids still come in and get tickled, right? So you don't have to have a TPO chart. You can use the concepts that TPO charts teach you, right? And the TPO charts really just telling you where they're selling and buying the inventory. That's all it is. It's really stuff's not rocket science. They love to make it sound more complicated than it is. When I started trading, they said it's going to take you 10 years to learn how to retail trade. You know why it takes you that long to learn how to retail trade? Because everybody's teaching you wrong information. So you're going around trading on wrong information for at least a good 5 years before you figure out that 99% of the people who are teaching have no clue what they're talking about. That's why it takes so long to become successful at retail trading. If you guys ever think about that? Looking for bids at 47. Never thought about that? Maybe it takes so long because there's just so much bad information out there that you're actually trying to do business on than actual reality. Hey Dave, how you doing? You know, I think we can cut down I know we can cut down the learning curve because I have with people that I coach and that we teach. Seller at 50. See, this is why I don't like shorting sometimes. Well, today is month end, right? Remember it is month end. So remember, if you are trading month end, you really want to make sure your trades count so you don't overtrade, right? So larger traders, if you were short 53, 52, I would have had some bids at 48 and I would have probably covered. I was looking for a 47, 46 fill, but just like last time, I was looking for a 44 fill and I had to take it at 46. So when you're trading, sometimes the market is telling you, listen, I know you want to buy it back here, but there's nothing for sale here. So if you want to buy it back, you got to buy it back where you can, not where you want to. Hopefully that makes sense. That's true, especially if you're trading size, right? There we go. There's the 47. So if you're still short and you got a little bit of size on, I'd put a bid at 46 and a quarter, maybe 46 and a half, right? Because we're already offered 46 and three quarter. Say you were short 10 contracts in the 50s, 52, 53, cover a little at 50, cover a little at 48, cover a little at 47. Buy them back on the way down. That's why when you scale in and out of a position, it's less daunting and you're always getting paid. Wouldn't that be nice? Right? Wouldn't it be nice to actually get paid for the work you do, right? There's 46. I mean 40. Yeah, there's 46. Can we get under 46 as London opens? This is a good inventory correction. Okay. This is a good inventory correction because, my friends, I forgot to tell you this and I'm sorry. Inventory is 100% long. All right. All that means, right, it's a fancy way of saying every single trade is above your Friday close. Good morning, DMAS. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Oh, are we going to tickle the 44s? Come on now. Let's see if we get a reaction at 44, right? So once again, this is like a market profile chart. A market profile is just a half-hour candle chart that you can see inside. So this is like a map of the city, and then if you want to go trade in that neighborhood at 44, you just go and zoom into the neighborhood. See? Let's hope we get a nice rotation, Moran. That'd be cool. Oh, little levels are working good this morning, eh? Let's see if we get any support in the 41s. Now London's coming up, and we've already corrected inventory slightly before London, almost 10 points. So when London opens, what is the biggest thing that you want to look at? You want to look at the low of this candle right here. If London can't take out that low, it will rotate up at least. And where will it rotate? It will rotate to where the sellers engage. So if we get over 47, you're looking for sort of a 48 before they start selling again. I don't like trading from the middle. I like covering in the middle or selling at the middle if I'm long, covering if I'm short. You guys still awake? See, look how it's starting to find some bids here, right? These are the anxious front runners of VWAP, right? Anytime you have put VWAP on a chart, you'll notice that there's always front running. So it's interesting. Now look at the distance between VWAP and the low of that candle. So these are all buy orders. See, and as soon as the sellers see the buyers, they start to raise price. They raise price exactly to where they will sell again. See? Boom. Taking that K low. Let's see what we got underneath. There we go. I would love a look below and fail of 41.5. Hey Cisco, what's going on? So shorter term, I'm looking for a look below and fail of 41.5. What I would love is if we go down, almost kiss VWAP and then come back up. Then I'd know that there are bids here. Let's see what shakes out. So when the market's liquidating and you're not short, you're looking for a place. You don't want to buy the dip. You want to buy after the dip. That's the fail part of it. That's the look below and fail. The dip is the looking below. See, like right here. See? Now what I usually do is I just jump in and I buy that 42. Right? I always do that. So I say it out loud so I don't do it. There's the look below. I want to see the reaction at VWAP. See? Do we just cut through it? Do we stop? Right? So all of those buy orders that were between 44 and 38, they all just dropped. They dropped to take advantage of lower price. There's the tag of VWAP. Now let's see where we get bids. Because when we tag VWAP, look at that. See, now we're offered under VWAP, right? So no look below and fail of 41. Uh-uh. I'll look for 33. Maybe 33 or 24. If you're still short, you can use the 37s to cover and the 33s. I am not interested in buying this until the market proves to me that the selling is done. Simple. All right. A little bit of a bid there. Now let's see if they sell into it at VWAP. If they sell into it at VWAP, we're probably going to go lower. If we get back above VWAP and we start printing 40s and 41s, look out. Okay? 42 and 3/4 is your danger zone. If you're short and the market starts lifting and printing 43, 44, then you know we're at, that means the look below and fail is working, and that means we're running out of supply. Right now we got supply, so you don't have to worry, right? See how they selling into VWAP? Right top of the candle, right at VWAP. Simple. Stay short, my friends. If you are short, stay short. If you're looking for a long, just relax. It's not time yet. Is it helpful for you guys to think of markets like this? So say you missed the short trade and you're looking for a long. Is it relaxing for you to wait, or does that cause you stress? It used to cause me stress, the waiting, until I knew exactly what I was waiting for. So when you tell people just to wait, it's not really informative. Well, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for the selling to stop. There's no point in you trying to absorb the selling, right? Exactly, Moran, right? But as Tom Petty would say, the waiting is the hardest part. We need to make it relaxing, right? More knowledge helps us relax. So there's some bids here. So you should become, I mean, if you were short 48, 50, take some off here. You know, this is a natural place to cover. Nothing wrong with that, right? Looks like we got a seller just at 41. Now, this is another time where you really want to let the large traders work this out and wait until we clear the 43s to go long to 47, right? Otherwise, wait for it to do this, right? But you don't need to go get involved in this, right? This is like going in, getting into a fight in between two really big guys who are like MMA guys. You don't want to step in the middle of that. Just let them figure it out. One of them will get knocked out, and then you can go grab their wallet and run. Get it? That's what smart trading's about. It's about being sneaky. Okay? Smart trading is about being sneaky. The sneakier you are, the more you're going to survive, the less money you're going to lose, and the less stress it'll be. But you got to be sneaky. You know, we want you to be that thief in the night. Let these guys beat each other over the heads here, right? Just let them beat each other over the heads. This is like Rock'em Sock'em Algos, right? Remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right? The robot fighting game. Well, this is like the same with algos. Let them just beat each other up here, right? It was an American toy, Moran, right? You don't need to get involved in this. Let the large traders pay the bill. Once, if you're looking for a long, clear 43, I wouldn't initiate a short here unless we offer under 36, and I'd put my stop at VWAP. It's a tough short, though, because it's kind of choppy, right? See how it goes down, it bids, it doesn't take out the... See, look, this is annoying, right? So you don't want to get involved in that. And if you don't get involved with that, especially on a Monday morning, you're relaxed. Because if you go get in that, you go long, you get stopped out. You go short, you get stopped out. By then, you're ready to punch a wall, right? And your Monday morning has started off. You're losing money. You're losing patience. You know, there's no way to start out of a week, especially on month end, right? Do yourself a favor. Use trading psychology before you lose money. The best trading psychology is actual knowledge and skill. The best trading psychology is knowledge and skill, and the ability to admit you're wrong quickly. That is the best trading psychology. Knowledge and skill will overcome so much. As you get skill, when you admit you're wrong, you'll be able to course correct, which means you'll be able to correct your behavior, right? Look, didn't I tell you that they would clean it up here or on VWAP? That's where all the size covering comes in. If that holds, now we'll poke our head over 41.5. I will wait for the next candle. I always jump in. Every time I see price go, I jump and buy because I think we'd have to be first. I learned the hard way that's not the case. The really good look below and fail trades feel like you're late. Why does it feel like you're late? Because you are actually waiting for somebody else to do the heavy lifting. Not quite ready yet. Not ready yet. See? There we go. Little sign of life. Now we know that there's going to be a seller here, right? Do they lift? If they lift the offer, then we can take a little position, put our stop under 41.5, right? But look, there they are. Now this should not catch you by surprise that there's a seller at 42.75. Right back down. So you wait. This is why you wait. This is why you wait. So by now I would have bought 42. And then I'd be, oh crap. Well, maybe I'll add some at VWAP, right? And then it turns into a frickin' Warren Buffett investment, right? And you don't want that, right? You don't want a scalp to turn into a frickin' investment, right? This is the mistake I would make all the time. I'd see that green candle, I'd see it go up. I'd ignore the seller at 42 three quarter. I'd go and I'd buy it. Next thing you know, crap. And see how big this candle is? From 42 three quarter to 39 and a half in 1 minute. Everybody gets caught. Even myself, Ian. Even myself, I get caught doing it. And there are some times that I will grab that and I'll buy 42. And thank goodness I have my stop at 41. And I'm like, oh crap, I was too early again. Why is this going on? Well, it's Monday morning. My brain's not really working because all of the inventory is above us. We sold all this crap to people promising them 7,500. It never got there, so they're all bailing. So, but the thing is, they don't all sell at the same time. They sell, at different times. So we got to wait them out. It's like wringing out a towel and getting all the water out of it. So that's what they're doing here. This is like when you're wringing all the water out. This is the water that we had to absorb down here. Let's squeeze it all out, and then it's ready again, right? Don't be surprised if it just goes sideways here for a bit. This stuff is so intuitive and it's so simple, but nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever wants to tell the people the truth, right? And they do everything, right? They do everything possible to conceal the fact that this is a market. And the purpose of a market is to sell you crap. But they want to sell you stuff without even knowing that you're buying it. That's the beautiful trick. Aggressive seller at 40 quarter. Aggressive seller. Was that just one ordered, or do they have size? Oh, there's a thought. Haha. You guys know it's a short week this week, right? There we go. There, now we're starting to see it cleaner, right? Now they're going to sell that 42 and three quarter again, unless they've got it all. Jeez, look at that. Looking for 45. Yeah, long 43. Selling the 45s here like I stole them flat. Just a couple of points. Waited for the trade. There it was, right? Just a couple of, I bought a couple at 43, right? Took the offer, and my first sale was 45. My next sale was 46. And I knew there was going to be a seller at 47, right? Yeah, actually VWAP is a warehouse. Um, our Calf. It's a warehouse. That's where all the large traders are doing business. That's why you had this back and forth over VWAP. We cleaned it up, and this is the look below and fail trade I was telling you guys about. But I was telling you to wait till it gets over 43 to 47, 46, 47. Yeah, we just had to wait for it. We knew it was going to happen. We saw it happening. How did we know it was going to happen? Look at this. Clues, right? Clues, dear Watson. Look, bid, 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 bid. Look, I'm sure there's a pattern to that, right? That's the bid moving higher. Why is the bid moving higher? Because the offer is moving higher. The bid will follow the offer like a dog will follow the owner for a treat. This is just business. If we clear 47s, we're looking for that 48, 49. Give it some time, though, right? Give it some time. But it's only 3 o'clock in the morning in New York. Oh, man. Yeah, 317. 317 in the Big Apple. Any questions? That was the trade I was waiting for. Had I been in front of the screen earlier and had I been that short would have been a really nice thing to get busy on, right? But this is if you miss the short, you can always wait, grab that quick long. You just got to wait for it. If you understand how the business works, even if you bought it here and got stopped out, then okay, then you can course correct. And what's the course correction, right? So we have to correct our way of doing business, right? You get stopped out one or two times. What is the correction? The correction is time. You have to give the time for the market to clean itself up, right? Do you guys understand? You have to give time for the wholesalers and the short sellers to come in and soak up all that inventory under 41, right? This is where they're like, the Bounty commercial, the quicker picker up. This is like a paper towel absorbing all of that liquidating inventory into wholesale hands, boom, right back into distribution, right? So you take the trade here, you get stopped out. Maybe you take it here and get stopped out again. Instead of getting frustrated, go, I'm too early. They still need time to clean it up under 42. That's how you put two and two together. And you use your stop outs to course correct. You understand the nature of the correction is either trade location, time involved in the trade, or your targets are, sometimes your targets can be a little out of whack, right? You think you can buy it for 3 and sell it at 8, but you're not going to get more than 5 because the market's not paying more than 5. So those are the kind of things that you want to look out for. This is important. You guys should write this down. This is really important because a lot of you are struggling on trading, right? You're struggling like crazy and you have a couple of good trades and then, right, boom, right? So when you need to course correct from getting stopped out, time, location, inventory, things that you miss, right? Write them down. Then you'll be able to do it automatically in your head. Which is what, if you watch like really, really good traders, I'm talking like the 20, 30, 50 million dollar a month traders. You sit there and you watch somebody like that, right? When they trade, when they're in the flow, like it's different because they're course correcting without going, oh crap, and having a meltdown. They get stopped out, or if some trade doesn't work out, okay, they know that the order flow is different. Okay, I need to change course. I'm either too early, my trade location is wrong, my target selection, I'm delusional. There's sellers that I'm not looking at, the inventory is not skewed in my favor. Think about this, folks, okay? Think about this because if you can actually diarize and do this in a methodical way and train yourself to course correct, it's like a pilot training themselves. Get to that point. It took me years to even figure this out. And it's only today, over the weekend, I spent thinking about it. How am I going to explain it to these guys and actually have them understand that this is important? So let me tell you right now, big flashing light right here, right at 8:22 a.m., right? Big flashing red light. This is important. For those of you who are watching the video after the fact, this is important because most of you, when you get caught wrong in a trade or get stopped out, you throw a little hissy fit. This is how to use that information to course correct so you can become a better trader and adapt, right? Remember Heartbreak Ridge, right? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Okay? I didn't make it up. Clint Eastwood did. Heartbreak Ridge, right? One of the greatest movies ever made, right? You have to be like that. We are operators. We're operating in this business where we don't have any support from any kind of institution, right? So you have to be intelligent about what's going on. You have to course correct, which means you have to be aware. Sometimes I overtrade, right? If it's really volatile, I'll just jump in, right? I've been known to do that. Sometimes I'll overtrade. So you got to understand, check yourself, right? So if a trade goes wrong, you can use these little things like time, location, inventory. Journal it. Was I too early on the trade? Did it work out? Did I take the trade, get stopped out? And did it work out 2 minutes later? Okay, that means my time, I'm too early. Why am I too early? Because I misjudged the situations that's happening, right? And I thought it would be a lot faster, the correction, but I didn't realize that all of the inventory of the night was above us. So it might take more time to clean up that floor. There's more dirt, right? That kind of thing, right? Time, location, inventory, and direction. Direction's the most simple one. Am I shorting at the lows? Or am I trying to buy the highs looking for a breakout? Though that's generally where you're wrong direction wise, right? Or number three, right, on direction is am I trading in the middle of a zone where it's choppy and am I like getting in the way? Like if I was trading here, I'm getting in the way of the trucks that are loading and unloading. This is the loading. This is the unloading. You don't want to trade in here. You want this or you want this. Okay? No. No. Directional bias in a market Italian trader that routinely trades 80 to 100 points. If you don't have millions of dollars and a lot of skill, just take directional bias and throw it away. Here's your sweet spot. You ever see the movie Hitch where Will Smith's trying to teach the King of Queens guy how to dance? Anybody ever see that scene? And what's his name? Kevin Smith is like he's dancing like a fool, and Will Smith like slaps him, and he goes, "No, this is what you do. This is your space here." I'm telling you, Italian trader, don't worry about direction. Look for the look above and fail, the look below and fail. Because if you take direction out of it, direction's only for you at your stage right now is only based on inventory. Do you get what I mean? Look how it's been going. Since 3 in the morning, it's going back and forth. This is a good question because a lot of people think they need to have a directional bias. They don't. What if you just trade for this from the outside in? You know how much money is here? There is a crap ton of money in that blue zone, in and out of it. Seriously. If I was long 42 on size and holding and selling 50, 6 to 8 points on 10 contracts. Do the math, right? Do the math. It's so, and then you know where your risk is, right? The color of the zones, uh, this is the cost basis. So this is how much we paid for the goods. This is 2 times profit, and this is 2 times discount. So this is the cost basis. This is the profit zone. This is the discount zone. So we like to buy when it does this. We like to short when it does this. It gives us an accurate understanding. Are we buying it above dealer cost? You guys have heard of dealer cost. That's what this is. That's how much that's what the dealers are paying. And this is when they got to put it on discount, right? And when you put it on discount, it brings in buyers. It's just commerce. Good questions. Thanks, everyone. Remember, course correction. For new traders, you don't know what that means yet. But what it essentially means, to summarize, is when trades go bad, they're trying to tell you information. So don't have a fit and throw your monitor out the window. Take that information and start learning how to use that information to course correct. This is the best trading psychology you will ever learn, because then you won't be whining about your feelings. You'll actually be making money. Right? I'm not trying to slag trading psychology, but there's no reason and there's no way that any amount of psychology is going to replace knowledge and skill. It's not going to do it. So learn your craft, train yourself like a pilot trains, right? And learn how markets work. Just a basic understanding, and we'll teach you. If you come to tradingsyndicate.org, we will teach you how to do this without a bunch of overcomplicated crap that's not going to make you any money, right? So come into our room. It's cheap. We raised the price a little bit because we were going to go out of business if we didn't. But you won't get any better trading education for 100 times the price. Oh, Arc Health. There, I've got 400 videos on YouTube. I'm shutting down the stream right now. But basically, you're looking for a high and a low, and when you look below that low, you go right back to that high. It's based on the concept of a two-sided market, which is how market makers work, which is how the business works. So I've been in the business for 34 years, and I fed order flow to market makers, so I know their job and their business intimately. So basically, you're looking for a back and forth. That's where you build your positions, like where you go to Costco. Say you had a corner store, right? And you're selling cigarettes and candy and gum. Well, this is where you're acquiring your inventory and you're trying to sell it here. Sometimes you got to put it on sale to bring in buyers. Tonight, sales aren't bad, considering that most of that inventory from Friday is down at 22. You've been selling it at 50, 40 all night. Beautiful, beautiful distribution. That's why you have a night market, to get rid of the crap that you bought on Friday at the end of the day. They had to buy back all this crap. Now they're selling it at a profit at night. This is how you keep track of sales. A stock chart, a futures chart is just a sales chart. That's all it is, right? So we're trying to move this number, this purple number, we're trying to move it up here to show good distribution. That's what you were waiting for next. Thanks for joining us. Come see us at Trading Syndicate. We will teach you how to do this in a simple way where you can actually make money. Wouldn't that be nice for a change? Have a great morning, everyone. See you soon. Next stream is at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Bye for now.